Okay, so my goal was to get this in sync with Ableton. And the reason why is because if I want to track out the beat from here into there, I don't want to be trying to time the play start stuff. That will throw everything off. So it does work. And Neartal did a video to help me find this because I'd asked him about it. So if you hit shift and menu, you can go to, you scroll over to you see sync. And then in sync, you're going to enter and then leave it on auto. If it's set on auto, it will go out the USB as the MIDI control first, and then we'll exit out of there. After you've made your beat inside of here, now you go into Ableton, and I'm going to show you this in a second here. Let me see if I can, give me 1 second to turn the camera actually. It'll probably be easier if I just do it this way for you. That way I can turn it back and forth. I'll try to straighten that out a little bit. So if you go into your DAW, in this case Ableton, go to your settings, and here under the link or the MIDI section, all you need to do is make sure the output, let me zoom in a little bit. Actually, I'm going to zoom in a little more. Can you see that right there where the output right here for the ports? Make sure you have it on sync. And then you shouldn't have any problem. It should sync up pretty good. So now I'm going to turn the camera back. And then you'll see like whatever you turn here, I'll show you one more thing. Let me turn this a little more. Whenever you change the tempo in here, here's the tempo, right? It will change. So we're gonna press play. So it's here, I'll turn the camera again so you can see it. Oops, wrong one. You see that? There you go. See, it's controlling it. And whatever I change the tempo in here, if I go faster, it's going to change the tempo here. So this is just a simple beat just to illustrate the point. If I stop it in here, it's going to stop it here. And you can see it's set at 78. Now, it doesn't matter if this is set to 78. I did this originally without, obviously, Ableton, just set it at 78. So when I made it, it was originally that, but because it's just a sequence of one shots, you can adjust the tempo in your DAW and then just, it'll change. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, all you do is shift menu, go to sync, and then press enter, and then turn it to auto, and it will automatically use the USB to sync. I know with Koala, if you're on the iOS on the DAW, then it basically it automatically does play a record for you. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, I have not tried this the other way. I'm sure you could do it where this controls Ableton. I really have no need for that. Personally, I would be using this more like if I make something and want to get it into the DAW. Now I could go shift and mute parts and then just play, have a track, let's say armed, a track that's an audio track. And then all I would have to do is press record on Ableton and it would automatically sync to that. So you could just hit record. And I think once it starts playing, see, it's gonna record into the track. You can't see the track because I'm showing you this here, but here, I'll move this down. All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. You have to make sure that you have the P6 where it is sending the audio into Ableton. So in your settings, when you go under audio, just make sure the input of it is the P6, right? If you don't do that and you don't have the P6 going, it will not record it, right? Because it won't pick it up. So now I have the P6 going. I can arm a track inside of here. You see this track went red? That means it's armed, right? Then if I hit record, it starts in automatically. And it's recording directly into the DAW. Here, I'll turn it while it's recording so you can see it. See it? So it's just that simple. So now I don't have to, it's easier to get the track. I mean, I only have 4 bars in the P6, so it's not like you're tracking out a whole bunch of stuff. You could literally have it going for I don't know, maybe like you want to do 8 bars or something like that, or 16 or whatever. And then what you could do is stop that track and then do the next part. Now, of course, it would be nice to, this is an inexpensive sampler, so don't get caught up in trying to think it's going to be doing some MPC type stuff, and it isn't on that level. And then what I would do is just come in and then get rid of that last little tail end right here. Just delete that. Command, and here you go, Command J, consolidates that, and now you have the kick, right? Now this is kind of how I used to have to do the SP, because the SP, until the SP had export, and this one unfortunately doesn't have that, but until they put the export into the SP, you had to track your beat out, pretty much like the old school way where you set up a track and send it out either via the headphone out or using the USB-C. And so I'm used to that. It doesn't bother me so bad, especially if I'm only doing something that's like 4 to 8 bars. It's not a big deal. I don't know if I would sit here and do 16 each. If you got a bunch of tracks, it could get kind of pretty lengthy. But seeing that most of the time on the drums, you might have like 3 parts going that you want to do. So you could just go, shift. Now you put your snares on and then start a record on another track right here. Go back to the beginning, right? Hit record. And by the way, I can use the keyboard to just press record. And it's going to be on time, which is what I want. I don't have to worry about trying to sync that up manually. It's just like virtually impossible. And I can stop it there. That's fine with me, right? There's enough here to where I got, basically, I only need 4 bars of it. Command Shift. And then just duplicate it out. Super simple like that. I did this one long just to show you could do it longer if you want to, but you don't really have to. If you're doing a simple song, again, just selecting a track, turn that one on auto. And then you're going to go back to the beginning. Make sure you shift mute whatever you don't want. I'm going to put all these snare or hi-hats together. I'm fine with that. So then, again, press record. It's going to do its own count in. And there you go. Done. And then if you look here, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit closer for you so you can see. It's pretty simple, right? One thing working with Ableton is the audio is so easy to do. I think you can do FL Studio. You can do a lot of stuff like this too, though. And other stuff too. It doesn't have to be just this, but I'm just showing you. And the timing is on, right? Now all I got to do is just duplicate command. I'm just doing that, consolidate it, and then duplicate it out however many times you need it. And now you have. Now, the only one thing you have to remember is because it's synced up right now, it's recording in this, is going to play everything on this device, right? So I wouldn't sit here and say use this through and through all the way for everything. You need to record in what you're going to record and then get out of it. Otherwise, it's going to continue to play this in the background while other stuff is being played, unless you sit there and mute every track. Right, you could just mute the whole track if you wanted to. And now, see, and then when you want to hear these tracks playing, they're not playing, they're playing out of the P6. So that's the only issue. So you're not getting any volume from the P6. You got to go back into headphones or something. There you go. And then turn the P6 off. Make sure that you're not getting, hold on a second, go to settings again, no input device, and just maybe go, I'm gonna go various sources. So see, it's still recording this, so I'm gonna unplug the P6 because I don't want it synced up right now. I'm just using this to record out. There you go. And then if you want more volume on these, or what, you can start doing your mixing and things of that nature. I could have put the compression on it, I guess, at the time, but I didn't. So I just wanted to show you this portion here. All right, it's just that simple. You just got to do it to get your workflow down. But remember, you're typically just starting a song in the P6. You're not going to be using it for, I mean, I guess somebody would use it for full tracks or, you know, just effects and stuff of that nature. But in my opinion, it's good for coloring the sound. It's a coloring box tool. And that's pretty much what it's best used for. To get that sample rate that you want, that change of that. So it works nicely. It reminds me of the SP404 Mark II when it first came out, and it didn't have all the extra export, you know, your files and rename your files and do all that. It didn't have any of that. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. All right, very simple, easy to use. All right, that's it for this video, and I'm out.